There is a long and winding history surrounding the WWE Championship. Some reigns are mired in controversy and confusion. There are some title reigns that didn't even last a full show because the Money in the Bank winner cashed in on them. The title has had different names and has been exclusive to one brand at times. We hope this resource will help clear up some of that confusion and give a clearer picture of all the champions in the title's storied history. Welcome to Honor Wrestling Club. In today's video we'll be looking at every WWE champion ever, breaking them down into the different eras. Starting off, we have the WWF era, which was the time of very long title reigns, and the notable champions include legend Bruno Sammartino, Ivan Koloff, and Pedro Morales. The Worldwide Wrestling Federation lasted from 1963 to 1979. Prior to that, WWF was known as Capital Wrestling Corporation, or the CWC. WWF was the precursor to the WWFs, or the WWE. In 1961, Buddy Rogers became the NWA World Heavyweight Champion. When he lost the title to Lou Thesz in 1963, CWC pulled out of the NWA and formed the WWF. WWF recognised Rogers as the champion and presented him with the WWF title on April 11th, 1963. He would then lose it a few weeks later to Bruno Sammartino, who went on a legendary reign, and he would drop it in quite memorable circumstances to Ivan Koloff. And that then brings us to Pedro Morales, and during his reign, the WWF rejoined the NWA, and the NWA World Heavyweight Championship was renamed the WWF Heavyweight Championship. In 1979, Antonio Inoki won the title, but it was never officially recognised due to the controversy surrounding it. Bob Backlund won the vacated title in a controversial match with Greg Valentine. It was only recognised by the NY State Athletic Commission. Backlund would beat Valentine in a rematch, and WWE recognises it as one uninterrupted reign. This title is currently defended on SmackDown as the undisputed WWE Championship held by Cody Rhodes. The people that hold the WWF Championship were Buddy Rogers, Bruno Sammartino, Ivan Koloff, Pedro Morales, Stan Stasiak, Superstar Billy Graham, and Bob Backlund. Moving into the WWE's Golden Era, which was the start of their international boom. The Golden Era of WWE began in 1980 and lasted until 1993. During this time, WWE was syndicated on national TV. Some of the biggest wrestlers of the time were Hulk Hogan, Roddy Piper, Andre the Giant, and Ricky the Dragon Steamboat, and the first WrestleMania was held in 1985. Some of the names to hold the title in this era were Bob Backlund, the Iron Sheik, Hulk Hogan, Andre the Giant, Randy Savage, Ultimate Warrior, Sergeant Slaughter, The Undertaker, Ric Flair, Bret Hart, and Yokozuna, all of whom are now Hall of Famers. Next, we have the New Generation Era, which was WWE's era of experimentation. From 1993 to 1997, WWE saw themselves in their New Generation Era. Monday Night Raw would debut during this period, and this period coincided with the Monday Night Wars beginning with WCW. During this time period, there was also controversy such as the steroid trial, the Rita Chatterton rape accusations, and Vince McMahon being indicted, even though he would eventually be acquitted. Superstars to hold the belt during this period were Bret Hart, Bob Backlund, Diesel, Shawn Michaels, Psycho Sid, and The Undertaker. Next, we have WWE's most popular era in the Attitude Era that let WWE defeat WCW for good. From November 1997 to May 2002, WWE was in the boom period known as the Attitude Era. You may have heard of it. This was a time in wrestling where WWF and WWE was at the height of its fame in pop culture. WWF would be sued by the World Wildlife Federation and renamed to the World Wrestling Entertainment. They started a campaign called Get the F Out when they rebranded, and this era lasted until May 2002. In 2001, Chris Jericho became the undisputed champion when the WCW and WWF titles were combined by beating Stone Cold and The Rock in the same night, but you may not know that Chris Jericho never brings it up. Champions during this era were Shawn Michaels, Stone Cold, Kane, The Rock, Mankind, Undertaker, Triple H, Vince McMahon, Big Show, Kurt Angle, Chris Jericho, and Hollywood Hulk Hogan. Our next era brings us into the Ruthless Aggression era, which was the company at its wildest. From 2002 to 2008, WWE was in its Ruthless Aggression era. If fans thought the Attitude Era was wild, parts of the Ruthless Aggression Era made the Attitude Era seem tame. Thankfully, the WWE Championship picture was mostly exempt from this. This era is notable for plenty of newcomers getting their runs with the WWE Championship, such as Brock Lesnar, Eddie Guerrero, and Rob Van Dam. The era also saw a healthy helping of veterans holding the belt, including The Undertaker, The Rock, Big Show, and Kurt Angle. Champions during this era were The Undertaker, The Rock, Brock Lesnar, Big Show, Kurt Angle, Eddie Guerrero, John Bradshaw Layfield, John Cena, Edge, Rob Van Dam, Randy Orton, and Triple H. Our next era is when WWE went family-friendly into the PG era. After decades of anything goes, WWE brought about the PG era, which began on July 22, 2008. It is disputed when exactly this era of WWE ended, but we've decided to say that the era ended with Daniel Bryan's championship victory at WrestleMania 30. This period saw little cussing, no blood, and a very toned-down product. This allowed for more corporate sponsorships, however fans left in droves. John Cena and Randy Orton dominated this era with 9 and 6 title reigns respectively. Batista held the title for one day and had to relinquish it due to a torn bicep. The summer of Punk culminated in him winning the title before leaving the company. Since he returned a short time later, WWE doesn't recognise it as being vacated. At the time there was a tournament to crown a new champion that was won by Rey Mysterio. In 2013, Daniel Bryan would win the title at SummerSlam and the match was refereed by Triple H. Randy Orton then cashed in with Triple H again as the referee. At Night of Champions, Bryan would win it back, but would vacate it due to a controversial finish. At WrestleMania 30, Bryan would win it back before being forced to vacate it due to a neck injury. Champions during this period were Edge, Jeff Hardy, Triple H, Randy Orton, Batista, John Cena, Sheamus, The Miz, CM Punk, Rey Mysterio, Alberto Del Rio, The Rock, and Daniel Bryan. Our next era is when WCW saw an influx of new stars in the reality era. The reality era only lasted from WrestleMania 30 in 2014 to 2016, when the brand split was reintroduced on July 19, 2016. At Survivor Series 2015, Roman Reigns defeated Dean Ambrose to win the vacant championship, before Sheamus would cash in his Money in the Bank briefcase to become champion. Seth Rollins would win the title at Money in the Bank 2016, and Dean Ambrose would cash in on his former Shield partner and became the SmackDown title following the draft later that year. The WWE Universal Championship would be created for Raw. When AJ Styles would win the championship that September, the title once again went by the WWE Championship. Champions during this era were Brock Lesnar, Seth Rollins, Roman Reigns, Sheamus, Triple H, and Dean Ambrose. Our next era is WWE's new era, which saw them become experimental with the WWE Championship. WWE's new era debuted via the tagline for the 2016 Payback pay-per-view in May. This era would continue on for about 7 years, seeing several first-time and many times shocking choices for the WWE Championship. As the WWE Championship was mainly fought over on the SmackDown brand in this era, names associated to this brand are often considered the most noteworthy champions in this era, which include names such as AJ Styles, John Cena, Bray Wyatt, Randy Orton, Jinder Mahal, Daniel Bryan, Kofi Kingston, Brock Lesnar, Drew McIntyre, The Miz, Bobby Lashley, and Big E. And our final era is the Endeavour era, which has been dominated by two icons. This era has been defined by the tribal chief, Roman Reigns, when he turned heel, aligned with Paul Heyman, created the Bloodline, the faction of his real-life family members, and became WWE Champion for 735 days, while simultaneously holding the Universal Championship for 1,316 days. Shortly after WrestleMania 39, it was announced to the public that WWE had been sold to Endeavour Group Holdings. This sale brought WWE and UFC under the same parent company, and the era is going strong now. The sale has seen the company be more conservative in the WWE Championship changing hands. The only two champions in this era have been Roman Reigns, who held the title for 2 years from WrestleMania 38 to WrestleMania 40, and Cody Rhodes, who is the current champion after defeating Reigns at WrestleMania 40. But there you have it. There's our list of every WWE era and the champions during that era. So what did you think? Who's your favourite WWE champion of all time? Be sure to let me know in the comment section down below. If you've enjoyed this video, be sure to give it a thumbs up, click the subscribe button and hit that notification bell to make sure you never miss out on any of the fun content we produce here at Honor Wrestling Club. Be sure to share this video around with your friends and check out our other content as well. Go on, you'll enjoy it. I know you will. However, that's all for now, so I'd just like to thank you for watching and welcome to the club. See ya!